Hi everybody, and in this video we're going to look at RC circuits, and to do so we have a capacitor, and this capacitor is a 100 microfarad capacitor. Hopefully the camera focuses enough for you to be able to see that. And the resistor we're going to use is a 100,000 ohm resistor, or 100K resistor. Okay, so you want to pull one out of your 100K ohm pack. And we're not going to use the breadboard for this one. This one's going to be slightly different. And you'll also notice I have clipped a gator clip off of one of my wires and just snipped it. Okay, and we're going to use this as a clamp. Okay, so there's no wire attached to it. I just clipped it off. We're just going to use this as a clamp. And what we're going to do is you need 6 batteries, so we're going to use 9 volts, right? And we can go ahead and measure the voltage actually. And I'm also color coordinating things just a little bit. So in this experiment, our white wires are going to be battery wires, and red wires are going to be used for positive leads off of the multimeter. And I'm being lazy. I'll switch it out. I have originally a yellow connected to the black, but we'll be consistent. We'll just go ahead and use a black wire. So everything's kind of color coordinated now at this point. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the black here, and I'm going to then clamp the positive on the multimeter. And notice, right, I set it to the 20 volt setting, right? I set it to the 20 volt setting, and when I clip this to this one, it should read approximately 9 volts. Okay, 9.5. All right, so each of the batteries is drawing just a little bit more than 1.5 volts, but 9.5. All right, so that's good. And disconnect these. And so what we're essentially going to do is we're going to build a series circuit. All right, we're going to build a series circuit with the capacitor, the resistor, and the multimeter all in one loop, right? So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the resistor, and you'll notice that I've already kind of bent, it might be a little hard to see, but I've already bent the leg kind of into the longer leg. So your capacitors have legs of 2 different lengths. And I bent the longer leg kind of into almost a little bit of an L shape here. And you'll see why shortly. This will aid in taking a little bit of part of the resistor lead, one end of the resistor, and just kind of twisting it around, all right? And then this is where the clamp's going to come in. I'm going to clamp this together just so that stays solid, all right? So now what we're going to do, we have this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let our multimeter form a complete loop with this circuit. So I'm going to take my negative lead off my multimeter and connect it to this portion of the resistor. I'm going to take the positive lead on my multimeter, and I'm going to connect it. The wires are a little bit finicky. In fact, I'm going to twist this. so that it comes off to the other side. And I'm going to put this rock here and help keep that stable. All right, so now this is a bit of a funky loop, right? But it is a loop, right? So there's no, there is a little bit of residual voltage inside the capacitor. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hopefully, I was doing another experiment earlier, and I'm going to try to discharge the capacitor very quickly. All right. Okay, so it's essentially discharged. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the setting on the multimeter to amperage, and I'm going to use the 200 microamp setting. Okay, I want to use the 200 microamp setting. And the capacitor should essentially be discharged. And you'll also notice that I have a timer, okay, a stopwatch. So you'll either want a cell phone, laptop, tablet, something that you can use as a stopwatch. I don't recommend using your normal cell phone because, at least for me, you also want to have something that you're going to take pictures with, because you're going to take pictures of the time and the current, and from those pictures, that is what you're going to generate with your plot. Okay, so be aware of that. And with that in mind, all right, so now the thing to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually start the timer, okay, because things are going to happen fairly quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. And I'm going to get my phone and I'm going to start my camera app, right? And when we connect the batteries, what we're going to do is we're going to connect the batteries across the capacitor, okay? So when I connect the battery terminal across the capacitor, you'll notice that the current will immediately jump up to about 95. Now, this is 94 microamps, okay? 94 microamps, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery, and at that point, the current is going to start dropping, and it's going to start dropping pretty quickly. So I'm going to want to then start taking pictures immediately. And what you're going to want to do is take pictures about every second, okay, for a total of about 20 pictures, okay? So you want to take pictures for about once a second, every 20 or for a total of 20 seconds, and make sure your pictures capture both your timer and your current, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, and you'll notice things are happening very quickly.